Welcome back to Talking with Our Traders, a Caesar Sportsbook original series, the podcast that takes you inside the mind of the sportsbook with our very own Caesar Sportsbook traders. I'm your host, Cindi Edwards. With me today and all season long, Craig Mucklow, Vice President of Trading here at Caesar Sportsbook.
Hello there.
And Joey Fiesel, Head of Football here at Caesars.
Hello.
Hey guys, how's the week been?
It's been good. It was,
Good?
it was a fun Thanksgiving week. We've got, now we're in December. It's cold.
I know.
Plane. I guess we're in Las Vegas.
I didn't move
No
here to be
snow
cold.
anywhere, but
It's so I was telling my boyfriend the other day, I was like, I used to live in New Hampshire. Like, I've gone soft because I just can't stop complaining about how cold it is.
Softer than the Patriots schedule.
All right, we'll get to that. But first, let's dive into college. It's obviously College Football Conference Championship week. Joey, is this an exciting time?
It is an exciting time, and it's right as soon as we know it, next Sunday is going to be the great playoff show, and we're going to have all the Twitter complaining about who didn't get in, who was the last one in, and so that's always fun. But no, this is, cementing bowl season. NFL last couple weeks isn't my favorite, although we'll see some up and downs. But nope, it means playoffs is right around the corner. So.
Sure does. Before we get into the games of the week, let's start here. Texas upset number 3 Texas A&M in week 14. Do they belong in the college football playoff despite having 3 losses?
No. Would I like to see them in? Sure. Would I like to see North Texas versus Oregon or Texas versus Oregon? Of course, the latter. And probably for selfish reasons, because we're going to get more handle in that game and it's going to be more competitive. But look, you got to win games. And although they, played a good schedule and they lost a couple games, they lost one too many. And one was against a bad team. And they also underperformed in a lot of games as well. So whether they belong or not, they're not going to be in.
No, you need 6 wins to be bowl eligible.
Yep.
3 losses should automatically eliminate you from playoff contention. That's the line in the sand. Then you stop all these conversations.
Right.
Everyone harps on about strength of schedule, but they were number 1 in the country when they played Ohio State. All they could manage was a garbage touchdown. They lost to number 5 Georgia. They only scored 10 points, and they lost to unranked Florida. So there's too many deserving teams ahead of them.
Well, you brought up that Ohio State game. Should Texas be punished for playing Ohio State in week 1?
I don't think they're punished for that one. Texas was ranked 1, like Craig said, going into that game, but you're punished because you lost to Florida, who's only won 4 games on the year. You're punished because you played Kentucky within a touchdown. You're punished because you barely beat Vanderbilt. That's why you're punished, is because you didn't have those dominant wins as well. When if you are a playoff team, you should be dominating those teams.
Okay, so no one feels bad for Texas here.
No.
Moving on, in a similar vein, should Vandy be in the college football playoff after another impressive ranked win? They finished the season 10-2, 6-2 in the SEC, with their only losses coming against Bama, who maybe Craig doesn't respect, and Texas, who I guess
Craig
neither of you
respect.
So yeah, what do you think there?
I personally would like to see Vanderbilt in the playoff, but that's just for selfish reasons, right?
Yes.
We're looking at Vanderbilt. If we're looking 2 years ago, they just didn't win SEC games. They hadn't won an SEC game in a long time, and then there was question marks: does Vanderbilt even belong in the SEC? They won 6 this year. They won 6 SEC games, so they deserve a playoff in my mind because of that. But that it doesn't really fit the formula. They needed to win the games that they needed to win. So whether I believe or not they belong, they still don't necessarily belong.
Gotcha. Craig?
You know where I'm going. They beat one top 10 team in LSU, and we know LSU is not a top 10 team.
Right.
Lost to Texas, lost to Alabama. No. And I literally just read an article about 30 minutes ago before I got in here, was Vandy were trying to schedule an extra game this week to try and push for the 12th spot. But it didn't happen. But no. And if it does come down to a 2-horse race between Vandy and Alabama will get the nod anyway because of the marquee status. But if you're 14 now and you're not playing, you're not in.
Right. Well, let's stick with Vandy for a second. Make the case for why Diego Pavia should not be named the Heisman Trophy winner.
Make the case for not.
Well, it's easy because he's not the best player in the college
Yeah.
I made the case for it. I'm not going to be anti Diego Pavia, so I'm going to take that question and flip it around to why he should. Declaring Pavia as the MVP, you had to take the stats out, right? Drake May had the stats when he was in college, didn't get it. But the way Diego Pavia has brought up this program for Vanderbilt, again, not winning SEC games, he reminds me of Baker Mayfield in the NFL today. Just gives his heart out on every single down, every single play. Doesn't get to play this weekend. Vanderbilt was trying to play another game. They were trying to show the committee, and give props to them. But I don't think he will because he's not going to play a game. But yeah, it's going to be hard for me to make a case for not Pavia, but that's just me. I love Diego Pavia. I love he's a football guy, right? He believes in what he does. He had to fight his way through the NCAA to even play this year. So for him to fight and then show up the numbers that he did, win 6 SEC games, I think he deserves a Heisman. But
he'll be in
fair.
He'll be in the voting, I think.
Yeah, he'll be
Yeah.
in the
Final
finalist.
five.
Yeah, he'll be
For
in the
sure.
finalist.
I think that was a little bit of the point there. Maybe a little sarcastic.
But then again, shouldn't your quarterback play every down anyway?
Yeah, it should.
It's like you taking a Sunday off. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Not
but,
allowed.
Yeah.
All right. If Indiana pulls off the upset this week, which would be their first over OSU since 1988, how would that rewrite the college football playoff bracket and the Heisman race? Or should we not even talk about this because you don't think it's going to happen?
I think it's possible to happen. Although this Ohio State team really reminds me of 2023 Georgia, where they weren't flashy, they weren't just showing out, but they were winning games and winning them handedly. And it really, even though the box score didn't reflect a blowout win, if you watch the game, it was a blowout win. So if Indiana does pull off, what this does is Fernando Mendoza's, in order for Indiana to win the game, he's got to play lights out. So he's Heisman. So go ahead and set that up. Then that makes Indiana the number 1 team in the country. It has everything going through them. They're going to have the best path. So yeah, this is big for Indiana, and we'll see. I'm hesitant because if it is that 2023 Georgia team, this game isn't going to be close. But I'll be rooting for Indiana. That's for sure.
I agree. I think there's a chance.
There isn't a chance.
I was waiting for that.
Look, if Indiana would, Ohio State's goal is not to win the Big Ten championship; it's to win the college national championship and repeat.
Yeah.
If they lose to Indiana, you've got the revenge factor when they do meet again in the playoffs. And at worst, it depends where Georgia. If Georgia beat Alabama, you probably see Indiana 1, Georgia 2, Ohio State 3 or 4. They're not falling out of the top 4, that's for sure. I just think that defense is far too good, and we'll get to that later.
All right. Guys, predict who will make it into the college football playoff.
Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Miami. Is that the one that's the 12th right after that? I think Alabama gets out. And then I think Virginia loses. I think Duke wins. So then you have North Texas, JMU. You have 2 non-Power 5s getting in.
Craig?
Yeah, I agree with Joey, except for I have Duke and James Madison.
Okay.
All right.
I don't think Miami getting.
We will see. All right. Rapid fire reactions to the college football coaching carousel. Are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Michigan State hiring Pat Fitzgerald.
Who?
Northwestern legend. 5 AP top 25 wins. Maybe not the best moral high ground. He was canceled a few years ago, but don't hate the hire because of how Michigan State plays.
Yeah, okay, the who was it? All right. Auburn hiring Alex Golish.
Fast-paced offense feels like the hot hand. Craig will hate watching Auburn games as a result.
Yep.
So, yeah, I like fast-paced teams, so I don't hate this.
After that last drive last weekend, I will not watch Auburn again for a while.
Florida hiring John Sumrall.
Billy Napier 2.0. Questions to be had, but he's had success wherever he's gone. But again, he's coming from the Sun Belt. It feels like Billy Napier 2.0. Yeah. But we'll see. I do like Sumrall. Sumrall wins wherever he goes, so we'll see if he can continue that in Florida.
This is not the Sun Belt Conference.
This is not the same.
Yeah, this is.
That's what Napier was.
And none of these names on this list, like, strike you as, wow, that's marquee.
Yeah.
None of them are.
Arkansas hiring Ryan Silverfield.
Not the greatest hire, but hopeful. He'll take his best Memphis players. Expectations are not high, but it's Arkansas, so hopefully we can get him in there.
UCLA hiring Bob Chesney.
Not high in this selection. Success at JMU was a carryover from Signetti. Be interesting to see how UCLA recruits, but not a game changer.
No.
And last but obviously not least, thoughts on Lane Kiffin at LSU.
To leave a program when your entire goal was to make the playoffs and you finally did it and now you just leave means it has to be a really good opportunity and something he can't pass up on. It's smart on Lane's part, right? Because he is at the tip top of this is, if he stays at Ole Miss and then he underperforms next year, LSU's not calling. Or any of these big names they're calling. So there's a reason he has this opportunity. It is kind of poor for Ole Miss to have to deal with it, but I think his opportunities for building a national contending program and to winning a national championship is much better fitted at LSU than it was at Ole Miss.
Very good point.
Yeah.
However, I hope LSU and Lane Kiffin don't believe in karma because what they pulled was pretty low class in my eyes. Because LSU could have kept the job open until Ole Miss get eliminated. They're not winning the title.
Right.
He has now just ditched his team and his players at their most important time. And how many opportunities do you get? We talk about this every single time. We talk about winning the Super Bowl, winning national championship. You let your team down and you ditch them at their most important thing. So I think it could have been handled better. That's for sure. And I'm not a fan of how either team handled it.
I don't think you're alone in that opinion. Certainly getting some hate.
Yeah,
classless.
LSU wasn't going to stick around. They would have gone a different direction.
No, they would have. If that was his guy, you can have the conversation off the side and go, look, once we get eliminated, I'm yours.
And I'm sure that's what was stalling out the decision, right? Because he's probably with LSU like, come on, let me coach the playoff.
Yeah.
Is his son that's the linebacker or his daughter the cheerleader?
It's his daughter, and I guess it would be his son-in-law. Okay, let's get into games.
Not when he recruits better linebackers.
Let's get into games of the week. Like we said, College Football Conference Championship Week. A lot of rematches here, but let's start with Big 12 championship game, BYU versus Texas Tech. This is a big spread at Texas Tech, minus 12.5, a rematch from earlier in the season where Tech handedly beat BYU. Are you guys expecting this matchup to look any different from the original matchup? The odds would tell me no.
Yeah, the odds tell us no. They enter in a 13-point favorite. They beat them 29-7 in November. Nothing suggests anything's going to change here. Red Raiders boast number one run defense and a top 5 overall unit. They do have a couple good players. Jacob Rodriguez, really good running back. I expect just them to dominate in this one. They're going against freshman Bear Bachmeier. He's improved since their first meeting, and he's generally improved week in and week out. But I think it's just too big of a stage, and Tech has too much talent on both sides of the ball. So I expect them to win. They're going to be not necessarily flashy because, again, they have a really good defense, and they're going to really hold BYU to nothing. This will be the first ever Big 12 title win for Texas Tech as well as BYU, but BYU just entered the conference. So, I expect Tech to get this done. I don't want to see it. I'm interested to see who they're going to play in the college football playoff because although they have been dominant, they've been in the Big 12. So it's really kind of that step up in class and whether that actual portal and all the talent can actually match up.
Craig?
Texas Tech literally kicked BYU into defeat with 5 field goals and multiple turnovers. They're better on both sides of the ball, 4th on offense, 5th or 6th on defense. Everybody was expecting BYU to fall off at some stage. The wheels came off against Texas Tech. I can't see a 22-point swing. I think 12.5 is the right number. Do I think BYU can cover? Yes. And it's indoor. All these games are pretty much indoors. I just think Texas Tech's better on both sides of the ball, but as our old horse racing saying, when you go up in class, you're not going to perform that well. And we'll see this in the playoffs, unfortunately.
All right. Moving on to the SEC championship game, number 3 Georgia versus number 10 Alabama. Alabama has won 10 of the last 11 games against Georgia.
Wow.
The Bulldogs' lone win in that stretch, however, was in the national title game in 2022.
What game matters?
The title game. Fair play. The line is currently Georgia minus 2.5. Bama won in this last matchup. So, guys, what's the play here?
I think it's Georgia. Again, it's hard to beat that same team twice. We saw that with that playoff. You know, they beat them in the SEC championship game, and then they meet in the national championship, and I believe Georgia won pretty handily. I don't think it was close.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Georgia seems like the right side here. If we go back to that September clash, it was really Bama got ahead early and kind of just held onto the ball, held on. It wasn't a flashy game. It was one of our best results. I can remember that. But no, this is going to be a really good matchup. Again, Alabama is not the Nick Saban Alabama, right? This is Alabama that's still trying to find their identity, find their new scheme. And there's one coach that is probably better than this other coach, and that's Kirby. Kirby's going to make it a tough. He's going to bring in everything in here. There's nothing he wants better but to beat Alabama. He wants to win a national championship again. But yeah, I think this is all Georgia here. I don't see Bama really getting this done, and as a result, I think they're out of the playoffs.
The only time I cheered on Alabama this year was that 4th down call to seal the game, which was
Yeah.
the tip of the cap to DeBoer because that was a ballsy call.
Yeah.
Big time. Georgia had all the momentum coming back. Alabama pretty much stole the lead and held on. 2 tremendous defenses. I expect another low-scoring game, but given the revenge factor and the opportunity to knock out your biggest rival out the playoff picture, Georgia all the way, sure.
And would you ever pick Bama, really? Let's be real.
Never.
Never. All right. Last but not least, we have this Big Ten championship game, number 2 Indiana versus number 1 Ohio State. This is the first time 2 undefeated teams will meet in the Big Ten title game, with the winner securing the conference crown and a top seed in the college football playoffs. Indiana has lost 30 in a row to Ohio State and have not defeated them since we mentioned 1988. The line is currently Ohio State minus 4. What is the angle here, guys?
It's going to be a good game. I know that. And I don't know what exactly to expect because Ohio State, just really stout defense, just a lockdown defense that just doesn't allow a lot. Indiana, while they also have a decent defense, they haven't played that many great teams that would just tell me, oh, this is a lockdown defense. But I know they can score points. One of the highest scoring teams right now in college football. So it's going to be a clash of that, which usually you're going to take the defense side of the ball, right? That's going to win those really matchups. Good defense versus good offense. Usually you want to take the defense in there. And look, Ohio State has also pieces on offense that, while they don't score 1 billion points a game, they do have the ability to. They do have the talent to. This one's going to have Heisman implications too, right? Because right now it's Mendoza leading, saying on the other side in second place. So you'd think it's going to come down to who wins the game, and I think if Mendoza can get it done, I'm really hoping this happens, but I have a feeling it's going to be a Ohio State blowout.
Blowout.
Yeah.
Craig?
We discussed it a few weeks back when, I can't remember who played, but Ohio State played Penn State and Ohio had only given up 3 touchdowns or something like that, something ridiculous. They gave up 2 to Penn State that game, and then you watched the Michigan game last week and Michigan couldn't get in the end zone. And if you don't get in the end zone against Ohio State, you've lost.
Yeah.
Right.
It's that simple. The winner of this game wins the Heisman, that's for sure. I'd be stunned if there's any other result. Number 1 versus number 2 in the country, so great way to end the season. I feel bad for Virginia and Duke having to play exactly the same kickoff time because
Yeah.
No
nobody's
one cares.
watching.
Nobody's watching.
Unless you went to either school,
Yeah.
you're only watching that game. The number one defense against the fifth best offense, but the fifth best offense based on a very easy schedule. I think the schedule does Indiana in here because they're 2 wins versus ranked opponent. Ohio State's schedule was far superior. And great defense always beats great offense. And give me the defense every day and twice on Saturday.
All right, let's get into our weekly college football picks. What is your favorite college football game to go over?
There's only one and one only. That's North Texas over 66.
Same old. I'm going to go Duke, Virginia over 57.5 because I think the team that's down is going to have to make some desperate plays and do some stupid things. Like you go from 4th and down it, you're on 20 or something.
Yeah.
Purely because there's not going to be 2 spots in the ACC in the playoffs. The winner of this, there might be 0.
All right.
You assume the winner is in the conversation. So I just think there'll be some reckless play.
Fair. Favorite college football game to go under?
I like the Indiana Ohio State go under 47.5. I think that kind of coincides with Ohio State really being dominant in this one and really not showing a lot, right? They don't have to show a lot. I mean, the Big Ten title game is always important to them, but Ryan Day can really shut down Cignetti in this spot and then not show a lot to be prepared for the playoffs and kind of grind for that back-to-back national championship. So I think this is a slow, methodical pace under 47.5.
I hate the fact all these games are indoors. So I'm going to go South Dakota versus Montana under 53.5.
All right.
That is always a cold game.
Favorite college football team to cover the spread?
I think it's Georgia. Georgia minus 2.5. I think they get the revenge against Bama on this one, win the SEC title game, and get ready for playoffs.
It's Georgia.
All right. Upset of the week.
I think Duke takes care of Virginia, and I don't want to see it happen, but I think it likely is going to happen just because I'm not that impressed with Virginia. And Duke has the ability to be a good team. They just went 7-5 this year, so yeah.
I mean, when do you ever get to bet Duke at plus 150 in a basketball game? Oh, no, this is football. I'm going Duke as well.
All right, Craig. Any weather to watch? You mentioned a lot of indoor games.
Too many for my liking. Rain, snow, and very cold in Montana, funny enough.
Yeah, funny.
Funny.
Who would have thought? All right, let's move on to NFL. Let's get this out of the way, guys. Are the Patriots the best team in the NFL right now, boasting the best record?
Listen, let's start out. I want to just get this on the air. I want to apologize to absolutely nobody. Okay,
no.
The Patriots are not the best team. They are the 9th best team right now. We're in a top 10. Yeah, I got them top 10. But you can't just play that. You have to play a good team to prove to me that you are the best team in the NFL.
Were the Bills not a good team? Would you say the Bills
have you watched them play lately?
Maybe the Patriots broke them.
So that's one.
That's what happens.
Maybe that's
You were definitely thinking they were a good team when they played.
And they were an 8.5-point dog, and they were my dog of the week.
Okay.
That's true. He did like him at the time. Listen, they have the ability to be the best NFL team, but they have not shown me that just quite yet. So we'll see when they get to playoffs. And when they go out in the wild, they'll probably have the 1 seed. So when they go out in the divisional round, then we can return to this conversation.
Craig, care to add anything?
Yeah, actually, I've got quite a few.
All right, go for it.
First of all, you and Trevor need to stop drinking the Kool-Aid, right?
I will never stop drinking the Kool-Aid.
Your comment the other night, I've seen enough. The Patriots are winning the Super Bowl. Made my year.
Background. So we were messaging during the Patriots-Giants game, talking with the Traders group chat, and I had seen enough, and the Patriots are winning the Super Bowl. But go on, Craig.
And what was my reply? I've seen the Patriots win enough Super Bowls.
Yeah, hasn't everyone?
Yeah.
But let's keep it going.
All right. So to answer your question, no, they're not the best. They are 12th best.
12.
Yeah.
Care to list the 11 teams you have in front of them?
But the entire
you don't
NFC.
have to. Okay.
It is the entire NFC.
Exactly.
That's fair.
Let's have a look at the last 5 Super Bowl winners based on strength of schedule when they get to the Super Bowl. So not preseason strength of schedule, none of this paper stuff. actual who you've actually played, right? So I went back and looked at the last 5 Super Bowl champions. Eagles, 25th toughest schedule. Chiefs, 8th toughest. Chiefs, 21st. Rams, 2nd. Buccaneers, 1st, right? I don't see any team with a 3 at the start of their strength of schedule. So that rules out the Patriots and the Bears straight away. Beating multiple 2-1 teams is one thing, okay? The Giants spotted you 17 points on special teams, and they played like a 2-10 team. And let's get this one thing right. You lost to the Raiders. Okay?
Yeah, that was a fluke.
There's no fluke. I watched the game, right? And as for Drake May,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't have Baker in my top 15 of quarterbacks. Do you think I've got Drake May in my top 15?
Well, let's talk about it because he's currently the betting favorite to win MVP. He enters week 14. They do have a bye, ranking number 1 in the NFL in passing yards, completion percentage, QB rating, number 2 in yards per attempt, and number 2 in touchdowns. So are you saying that he's not in your top 2 or top 5 right now?
Of quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
Don't be silly.
If we're looking at just stats right now, sure, he's in the top 5 of just. But how bad is quarterback play right now?
A fair
teams:
point.
Bears, Jags, Broncos, all playoff teams, all terrible quarterback play.
Yeah.
So it's a weird year. But if we had a draft tomorrow, I can think of at least these that have a strong case I'm drafting over Drake May: Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Burrow, Herbert, Dak, and Stafford. Even though Stafford's 100 years old.
You're taking a
I would just
100-year-old
say
quarterback.
I'm taking a
those are-
100-year quarterback over Drake May.
Those
to
are all
lead my
top
franchise.
tier quarterbacks.
You
Right.
just said he's the best in the league, Drake May.
I'm saying, is he playing like one of the best?
Let's
Is
just
he in
say-
your top 5 right now?
I'll give you one
he's
thing.
playing like he's one of the best
I'll tell
right
you one
now.
thing. He's the most accurate 3-yard passer I've ever seen. He's
See
deep ball.
this is why no one understands what you're talking about. You clearly don't watch the games.
I did watch
He's
the
got
game.
a 33-yard touchdown.
I watched the Giants spot you 17 points on special teams, and you're crowning them Super Bowl champions. Come on.
Do they get your respect if they get to the Super Bowl? Because honestly, there's no one in the AFC right now that really scares me.
The AFC is terrible this year.
If they win 2 playoff games, they'll get my respect. Look, I don't disrespect. I like the coach. I like Vrabel. I think Vrabel's he's a true football guy.
Yep.
Did I see some nasty hits going on Monday night? That maybe I don't want to watch any more Patriots games. That they're just going to add more rules in the next upcoming seasons because they're being just greedy and trying to hurt people. That's beyond the point.
Okay. I'll give you one nasty hit. The rest were completely legal, but go on.
No, if listen, when we get to playoffs, while the AFC is down, there's going to be some big boys in there. And if they're able to kind of overcome that in primetime, then they can get my respect. But based on this schedule now, I can't say that they're a top tier team or that Drake May is a top tier guy until we get to the games that actually matter. Because right now he's just playing little sisters of the poor, and they can only play the schedule in front of them. I'm not going to say but they had to reschedule something, but in order to get over the hump and get into the conversation as being one of the top teams, you got to actually play a good team.
What if they beat the Bills and the Ravens in these 2 upcoming matchups? Would you count those as quality teams?
I'll call them, they're quality wins.
Okay. All right.
Do you know the one thing the Patriots won't be playing in the playoffs?
What?
2-win teams.
Yeah, they might get yeah. Okay. Let's move on to another guy, your guy, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Did Stafford's 3 turnover performance cost him the MVP award?
No, I don't think it cost him there yet. It's one game, although it didn't look good. I mean, it was
No.
Yeah, it was with 3 turnovers where he had 2 picks and a fumble. So not his greatest game, but he's human. He's old. I think that was good for the Rams in general. But yeah, I don't think he's out. Again, like you said, May has to play a couple actual tough games, and that could push him over the threshold. But yeah, it didn't kick him out of it entirely. The Rams are still competing for the number 1 seed in the NFC, and that's going to matter too for the MVP conversation.
For sure.
Good teams lose games. There's only been one team in the history of football that went undefeated the entire
here we
year.
go.
Okay? Remember that.
Yeah, when they used to have 5 games in a
But
season.
hang on.
Yeah.
But also,
Unless we're talking about the Patriots.
but did they win the last game?
No,
No,
but
so
they
there we
looked
go.
damn good until that one.
So good teams lose games. The 73 Dolphins did not. We know the Panthers are great as an underdog. The Rams traveled cross country. They played in bad weather. They are not an outdoor team. Just chalk it up to one of those days. Move on.
All right. So I guess following up, did that loss to the Panthers, though, maybe change your opinion on this team? We were saying they were the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, no.
They're clearly beatable.
They're beatable. And any teams should be beatable. But no, I was actively cheering for the Panthers on Sunday, not only because I'm a company man.
He loves to say that.
But also that there's value in making mistakes on a game that doesn't have a lot of stakes in it, right? That like Stafford making those mistakes, like you don't want to just keep winning until you get to the playoffs. You want to be able to have that reset, to be able to say, look, guys, we're human. Here's what we can learn from this. And, if you are winning, the hard part, and that's what the Patriots had. And one thing that Belichick did a great job of was just never resting on your laurels. Like just always, even though you win. I mean, Craig says it every week. Even if we have a winning week, it's on to Cincinnati. We're on to the next one. Because if you get too big of a head, it's going to let you kind of get in that coast scenario. So and McVay's also a good coach to get there. So I think this was actually a positive for the Rams. I mean, maybe it's spin cycle, but I wasn't even worried. I was cheering because I'm sick, but I think it is good for the Rams moving forward.
I think a little adversity is helpful,
yeah.
Especially before you get into the playoffs.
Yeah. I think the Colts with Manning, they were 15-0. And they sat the entire team week 16 rather than go for the perfect season. They wanted the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the Panthers have not made the playoffs since 2017. Is this the year that they can get back there?
I wanna believe. I was a believer in this team, right? If we look at week 1, I do think that this team was able to get a step up. You got now Ted McMillan looking at Rookie of the Year. Chuba Hubbard looks good. I think that they're not going to get there entirely because I think the NFC is going to be tough pickings to get that wild card spot, and I think the Bucs just have a better schedule to get to the division winner towards the end. So, although I want to see it, I think this team did make a big step up, and it's much better to be a high mid team than what they had been in the past couple of years. But I don't think it's enough to get into the playoffs this year.
Shout out to the head of football at Caesar Sports because he called the Panthers as the most improved team of the year.
He
We filmed it in Monte Cristo.
Monte Cristo, yep.
He said they would go over their win total, correct?
I think they did, yeah.
They're half a game back in the division. Their best route into the playoffs is through the division because the wild card's out of the question. What's going for them is they get 3 divisional games of their last 4, and 2 are against the Bucs. Win both of those, division's pretty much yours because you have the tiebreaker. Right now on the Caesar Sportsbook app, plus 380 to win the division. You know me. Would I rather bet plus 380 or minus 525?
Always going for the plus. Always.
Yes.
All right. Can you guys break down the race for the AFC North? Are the Ravens still in the driver's seat despite losing on Thanksgiving?
They are in the driver's seat because they get the opportunity to play the Steelers twice. And that's going to give them
Lucky
the edge to punch through and take over. The AFC North has left a lot to be desired, right? If we look into this season, it was supposed to be the Ravens and the Bengals. Obviously, Joe Burrow goes down, and the Ravens really just haven't, like, they show a couple, like they pull Patriots, right? They beat a couple bad teams, but sometimes they just falter. They're not able to kind of punch through and be that competitive team that we wanted them to be going into this season. And the Steelers got problems. Now you got Aaron Rodgers starting to blame everybody. So, I think the Ravens definitely are in the driver's seat, and it's theirs to lose.
Only took 14 weeks. Ravens minus 250 for the division. Steelers plus 275. Bengals plus 800. The next 2 weeks, the Ravens can seal the division because they play Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. 2 wins puts them 4-1 in the division, which pretty much gives you the tiebreaker. Steelers have the Ravens twice, the Lions, and 2 easy games against the Dolphins and Browns. And I say easy against the Browns, but divisional games are never easy in that division anyway.
Yeah.
They would have to split with the Ravens and win the rest. They've got to get to 9 wins, but split the Ravens games. The Bengals, they're 2 back. They have Buffalo and Baltimore back-to-back, and Baltimore off for revenge. The schedule eases up, but again, I think you've got to get to 9 wins. The Bengals have to run the entire table to make the playoffs. Wild card's out the
Been
question
in that
for all of
situation
these things.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wild card's out of the question, so the only way you get there is the division. It's interesting that Lamar Jackson actually practiced on a Wednesday for once. And watching the Ravens, I think he's still a bit mindful of the hamstring injury because he's not running the ball as much as he did until this weekend.
No, this is the week.
Okay. Who are your top 5 teams in your power rankings? Joey, start us off.
Rams, Seahawks, Packers, Lions, Chiefs.
Craig.
Patriots. Oh, no, this is upside down.
Oh, you got them top 5?
Upside down.
Oh, yeah.
Rams, Seahawks, Packers, Bills, Texans.
Ooh, Texans.
Ooh, it's got Texans. He's got
Defense.
Chiefs.
The
Well,
defense is solid.
We'll go through that matchup later. Ready for an overreaction or not? Overreaction or not, the Chiefs will miss the playoffs.
Not an overreaction. It's a tough game this week, and if they lose this one,
They're
like you said,
toast.
like
Yeah.
one of the best defenses in the league right now with the Texans, yeah, they're toast. So
Yeah.
not an overreaction.
Overreaction or not, the Steelers should fire Mike Tomlin.
Overreaction.
Not an overreaction. I think it's
Ooh.
time to move on. I think you've been mid. You haven't been able to punch through. Might be an opportunity to go in a different direction.
Perhaps you should get fired for taking an aging quarterback that brings a lot of baggage and causes
A
problems.
lot of baggage.
We said it preseason. It comes with the territory of who he is, and he is a tremendous quarterback. He will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And we see it this week.
Well, don't get ahead of me here. Ready? Overreaction or not?
Oh, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers made a legacy-changing mistake leaving the Packers.
Not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction.
Because
I agree.
it was going to be Jordan Love's team anyway. No difference to Aaron Rodgers took over from Favre. Favre had to move on. You can't keep 2 quarterbacks on those salaries. So not an overreaction.
Yeah, I think his legacy changing is just how he approaches the media and just how he is as a person. You know, we can remember how good he was, but he's a drama queen. And that's going to put you in a negative light. While he did have the stats of the Packers, I think that does hurt your reputation. Peyton Manning, everybody loves Peyton Manning. Whether he was, whatever team he was on, he was just a lovable guy. Aaron Rodgers goes to that heel, wants to be that, just be the bad guy. Good for him, but yeah, I think it does change his legacy.
All right, overreaction or not, the Jags will win the AFC South.
Not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction.
Colts schedule's hard.
Danny Dimes has a broken fibula. He's still playing on it. I mean, that's
Crazy.
That's probably not going to be
Insane.
great.
Yeah. Overreaction or not, the Bears will win the NFC.
Overreaction.
Yeah. I ended up
NFC or
feeling
NFC
both.
North?
NFC.
Neither.
They're
Overreaction.
currently top seed. All right, overreaction or not, the Cowboys will make the playoffs.
Overreaction. I think they have to be perfect from here on out, and the Cowboys will Cowboys it up.
I'm massively on the fence here. If you ask me today, I'd say not an overreaction. Ask me in 2 hours, I'd be the opposite way. I think the Lions get the job done tonight.
Yeah, I think so
Ooh,
too.
really?
Yeah.
I'm going to fade both of you on that, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Overreaction or not, the Eagles will lose in the first round of playoffs.
Overreaction.
Not an overreaction. I think there's just something wrong with this offense. And if their defense isn't perfect, I mean, the NFC stacked. So it's not like they're going to be playing the Patriots schedule in the playoffs. So
He can't help himself.
I can't help myself.
You
Sorry.
can't.
It's just,
It's like Tourette's.
it's not even written down. It's just popped up. How can I take a dig at the Patriots?
I used to tell all
Do
my
you have
darts.
like a mental note?
He does, yeah.
You too, though, but go on.
Yeah, I just think there's just something wrong with this team. They're not the same team as they were last year. Saquon actually looks human. And so if you're not perfect on that offense side of the ball, I think that they could lose.
There's a saying I used to say to all my darts opponents: form is temporary, class is permanent. And they are the champs. And they have been there before.
I think
They will
Philly's
fix
got a
it.
lot of class.
I didn't say that.
That's exactly what
a
he
fair
said.
point. That's a fair
I didn't say in that term because
okay.
I know a Philadelphia Eagles fan and there's zero class there.
Shots fired.
point. There.
All right, overreaction or not, Jackson Dart needs to learn how to slide.
No, overreaction.
Not an overreaction, but I mean, there's something to just love about. Listen, if you go back to Gruden does the great offseason with kind of the rookie quarterbacks or who's going to be in the draft, and he does a really good job mentoring. What do you think of or not about Gruden? But he gave this to him exactly. Showed him a highlight tape of him just getting hit, and he's like, dude, you're not going to last in the NFL if you just keep taking these hits. So he does, but I don't mind him putting his body on the line for his team, because then that shows your team. And you can see the team rallies around him. They were all after the Patriots player. Like, they believe in this kid. But, yeah, in order to extend your career, probably should learn how to slide.
Yeah.
He reminds me too much of Brett Favre. He's very reckless.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. All right, let's get into game previews. Let's start with that Steelers-Ravens and AFC North showdown for the division lead. The Ravens have failed to cover in 3 straight games and are 1-5 against the spread in their past 6 home games. So tell me why the line is Ravens -6 here.
Because on paper they're just better. And same thing with I think Pittsburgh has taken kind of the downward trend as well, and so that really kind of helps this line being pushed up for the Ravens what they are. But yeah, it's AFC North clash for first place. Neither team looks dominant. Both 6-6. This is going to help. This is going to help Baltimore again really push to get that division. But they got to figure out something going in this kind of last couple weeks of the season in order to be that dominant team, be that team that I picked to win the Super Bowl in the beginning of the year. So yeah, well, it does look a little heavy. It's because the Ravens are still respected as being one of the best teams. Maybe it was Lamar was holding back on the running game, which is so important to this team and so important to Harbaugh's scheme. It's going to be a physical, low-scoring game probably. I think Baltimore gets it done here, and I think they do cover, especially if Craig's right about Lamar taking off the training wheels and running again.
I mean, first of all, what a major weekend of games. There's 5 monster games this weekend starting tonight. And the interesting fact is 3 of the top 5 teams since 2020 coming off a loss are against the spread monsters. They're brilliant. Rams, Ravens, Lions. Ravens is number 1, Lions 2. I think the Rams are 4 in the last 5 years against the spread off a loss. And you get 3 of them this weekend.
All right, so you both like them to cover.
Remember, Joey says low-scoring defensive battle. I made this 4.5 Ravens, but I can see why it's up there at 6. The Ravens have won the last 2, but Steelers won the previous 4 in these matchups. As discussed earlier, huge game for both teams. The division is the only route to the playoffs. Ravens offer an extended mini bye because they played Thanksgiving. The Steelers, I watched that game because I do watch games. That was a tough, bruising battle. And you just seen the picture of Rodgers in the nosebleed, and you could tell how tough a game that was, and the weather was awful. The entire AFC will be Steelers fans here because nobody's going to want to play the Ravens in the playoffs, except for the Patriots, because they're not scared of anybody, are they? There's too much drama going on in Pittsburgh, so give me Baltimore.
All right, moving on, we have Bears versus Packers. Line is currently Packers -6.5. Totals 44.5. May I ask why the line is so high for the Packers? Does this mean that there is no faith in Caleb Williams and the Bears, even after their win against the Eagles, giving them possession of the number 1 seed in the NFC?
The line feels steep because there's just trust in Green Bay's consistency here. And just being that solid defensive team, being able to stop the run, which is very important. We saw Eagles weren't able to do it, right? They had 2 running backs getting over 200 yards, and that's where kind of the Bears kind of shocked the world in that Black Friday game because I did not expect the Bears to show up there because the Bears, while they are the number 1 NFC team, they don't look like it. They had a couple fourth quarter comebacks that got them over the line. Really not looking like that absolute solid team. They're kind of similar to the Broncos. Like the Broncos, we don't treat as being like that top AFC team, right? They've just gotten lucky in a few games. Same thing with like the Chiefs last year. Same thing with the Chiefs last year. So I think this is a Green Bay game, right? This is going to be, go ahead, try to run the ball. They're going to try to force it into Caleb's hands. And if it is Green Bay in December, it's not going to be great weather. I'm sure Craig's going to inform us. But it's probably not going to be Miami. And so that's going to they're going to force Caleb to make the throws. And I don't think Caleb has that consistency or that ability to win in big games like this. So I think the spread's exactly where it needs to be.
I disagree. I think the spread's low.
Mm.
But while I would suggest, if the Patriots and the Bears both get the 1 seed, they should have like a participation bowl. You know, like the Puppy Bowl the day before the Super Bowl. They should have a participation bowl between 2 fake number 1 teams because neither are making the Super Bowl.
I mean, they'll both have the week off and they can do whatever they
might
want.
as well because they're not.
So-
They might as well.
They're
That's a great idea.
Yeah. I make this a lot higher on the Packers on the spread. I make the total a bit higher, but obviously it's going to be very cold, which will impact that number. Packers have won 8 out of 10 in Lambeau. Both those 2 losses combined 6 points against the Bears. The Black Friday game suited the Bears game because the weather was terrible. Even with the wind, Caleb's not accurate, so it just makes it more. So you're playing to the Bears' strengths, which is run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. We figured it'd be low scoring, and it was. Yeah, they've not played a top 5 defense. I think this is easily the Bears and Caleb's biggest game to date. And I just think the cream of the crop will come. And Green Bay's offense is not the Eagles' offense. Let's just say that. And Green Bay's defense is not the Eagles' defense. This is a tougher matchup for Caleb. But I might be shocked, but I can't see anything other than the Packers covering.
All right. Moving on to Sunday Night Football, we have the Texans versus the Chiefs. The Texans are on a 4-game win streak, while the Chiefs have lost 3 of their last 4 games. A couple things going on here. CJ Stroud is back. Houston has arguably the best defense in the league, but on the other hand, the Chiefs need to win this to stay alive. I suppose both teams do. But they're at home in prime time, which I can assume gives them the edge here. Line is currently Chiefs -3.5. What's the play here, guys? It seems like Joey's backing the Chiefs. I don't know. Craig might be backing Houston.
Yep.
All right.
I'm back in Houston as well.
Oh.
I think Kansas City's just in full desperation mode. Well, I do still have the Chiefs as a top 5 team.
Right.
They're out a couple linemen, and there's one team that's just been absolutely phenomenal on defense for the past couple weeks, and that's the Houston Texans. So this is going to be a tough one. This is really, I don't know how many weeks in a row I can say Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid with their backs against the wall. Are they going to fight their way out? And they really haven't fought their way out. I think nothing changes here. Houston, while not looking great on offense, you get Stroud back, which is going to be helpful. But it's just the defense that are just running this one, and it's going to be that defensive matchup. Usually I would take Mahomes here, but I think there's value in the 3.5. So give me the Texans plus the 3.5.
Well, first of all, for the first time, if you're a Kansas City fan or live in Kansas City, you can bet legally on the Caesar Sportsbook app.
Absolutely. They had their launch on Monday.
They did. Unfortunately for the Kansas City faithful, the Chiefs are pretty much cooked if they lose because they'll be guaranteed at least 2 back in the wildcard race with 4 to play. And they lose the tiebreaker to all of the teams bar 1. Texans will have the tiebreaker, Broncos, Bills, Jags, and Chargers. The only way through the tiebreaker is via Indianapolis for the Chiefs. So if it does become like a tie for the last place, it's got to be the Colts because otherwise the Chiefs lose all the tiebreakers. And the only glimmer of light is the Colts' schedule is absolutely brutal the rest of the way out. And the Chiefs is not. However, cold weather, great defense, beats mediocre offense. Give me the defense.
All
Texans.
right. Okay, let's get into our weekly NFL game picks. What is your favorite NFL game to go over?
Rams Cardinals over 47.5. Cardinals are in desperation mode, really just trying to figure out their offense with how they're going to move forward with Brissett. Rams going to be upset about that one. I think this one goes over.
Steelers Ravens over 43.5.
Oh, well, yeah, that is a low total. So,
Mm.
All right. Favorite NFL game to go under?
Like the Texans and the Chiefs. I don't have the number here, but I like that that defensive matchup there. I think they get it done. I think it's going to be just a slow, methodical run the ball and come to the end.
Under
42.
41.5.
42?
Yep.
41.5.
42.
41.5.
All right.
I'll still go under. I'll go 32.
I'll go Bears Packers under 44.5.
Ooh. Okay.
Cold. Yeah.
Cold. Favorite team to cover the spread?
I like the Lions tonight. That is a surprise because I think I've been anti-Lions the past couple weeks, but I think the Cowboys finally cowboyed up tonight. And, law of large numbers, Dan Campbell has to convert a couple of these 4th downs down the stretch. So I think, Lions superior team here. I think I'm not drinking the full Kool-Aid on the Cowboys just yet. So give me the Lions.
I've got the Lions as well, -3. Cowboys, they've had a tough stretch of games, and now they've got to go on the road against a team fighting for their lives. Yeah, I think I like the Lions a bit too much tonight.
All right, upset of the week.
This one's easy.
Texans over Chiefs.
Oh,
What's the easy one, Craig?
the Titans over the Browns, +178. For one reason, the Browns are awful.
It's a good reason. Any weather we should be aware of, Craig?
The Colts Jags, it will be very wet the entire game, and similar down the road in Tampa Bay, thunderstorms. So that game might get delayed, but it will be wet the entire game. No
Gross.
wind, boring.
All
Because
right.
they all went under last week.
Yeah. Let's get into our Talking with the Traders quick pick anytime touchdown parlay. Each of us are going to choose a leg, and if you like it, please tail it on the Caesar Sportsbook app. Who would like to start?
I'll start. Going with my over of the week, going with what seems to be kind of turning into a committee, with one running back getting a little bit injured. Give me Blake Corum +240 Rams.
All right. I am going to go Mark Andrews +170, and there are a few reasons behind this pick. He's had a big week. He got engaged, and then he got that big contract extension.
Which happened first?
He got engaged first, and then on Friday he got the extension. So no correlation there. Well, a lot of fans are questioning this extension, however, so I think he's going to go out there feeling himself, wanting to prove why he got it. So yeah, Mark Andrews +170 is a lock. Craig, finish us off.
My condolences. Lamar Jackson +285. I nearly did go Mark Andrews, but I just think Lamar is going to start running again. The fact that he practiced yesterday
That's
tells me
probably a
something.
real high price too.
Yeah.
285.
285.
Yeah.
All right. If you like this at home, you can tail it on the Caesar Sportsbook app. Guys, let's get into our picks of the week. One college, one NFL. Who would like to start?
Well, you're hot.
Yeah, I am.
4-0.
Thank you. Thank you.
Joey's already phoned his bank because I'm one behind him now after my 6-2 run.
On the wife.
Joey's getting to the finish line like my horses usually do. So I'll go first since I'm still last. I'm going to go Steelers Ravens over 43.
Okay.
And stick to the only weather game I can find, South Dakota and Montana under 53.5.
All right. For college, I am going to go BYU Tech under 49.5. And for NFL, I'm sticking with
The Cowboys.
the Cowboys. I love their offense right now. I can't get enough. Cowboys +3. I like that number too. And I think they get it done against the Lions, especially because I get to fade both of you guys. So
It's not
Give it
the
to me.
dumbest thing to do, is it?
It's not terrible. For college, I'm going to go with how I think this game's going to end. Give me Georgia -2.5 to get it done. And then I'm going to fade Cindi. Might as well try to flip a game, see if it give me an advantage. Give me the Lions tonight -3.
all right, I like it. I like it. That is a wrap for this week's episode. If you don't already, please subscribe to Talking with Our Traders wherever you listen to your podcasts. Follow at Caesar Sportsbook on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube. Guys, any final words leading into this weekend?
Conference champions are going to be fun. Hopefully we see some competitive games. And get ready for the drama on Sunday when we find out what team did not make the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll care more about the NFL at that time.
Yeah.
You can worry about the college. Look, have fun, bet responsibly.
All right. Bye.